Hello students, welcome to week 8 for PRL 550. We are wrapping up the course this week and we're going to spend some time looking at branding within public relations and what that means now that we finished our brand awareness campaigns. You'll see in the week 8 agenda that we have some tight deadlines. Everything will be finished by Friday of this week, so it is important that you keep that in mind. There is nothing due on the weekend. The course ends before then, so it's really imperative that you work to get that information completed on time. We're reading chapter 12 of our course text. We're watching a video about cult branding and what that means. We're completing journal entry number 3 on Friday, as well as discussion board number 8, which is due Thursday, with reply posts due on Friday as well. You'll see in journal number 3 that we are completing our last entry in terms of the journal for the entire term that's supporting metacognition. Remember, metacognition deals with and looks at thinking about our learning, particularly our learning in public relations and within this course. So each time we've submitted this in week 1, 4, and now in week 8, you've written a 2 to 3 page essay that supports some of the questions listed in the prompt that have you evaluate your learning and your progress within the course from your own perspective. So as we write our APA paper that's at least 2 pages, you need to consider, how did the information in the course relate to other courses in your major? If you're new to the PR program, the MA PR program, how did that compare to graduate work and your thought of graduate work overall? If you were the instructor, what would you identify as your strengths of your work and the flaws within your work? If provided the opportunity, which assignment would you redo? What could you learn from the opportunity to resubmit that assignment? Will you still remember this course 5 years from now and what you've learned in it? What advice would you give to a friend about what you've learned most in this course and what they could get out of it? And then lastly, what have you learned about how you learn in this course that you could use for future communication or PR courses or within your career? So what we're doing is we're asking you to spend some time looking at the information from this term and seeing how it would relate to for future terms and evaluating your progress overall from your perspective. Looking at discussion number 8, you're reading the trends and issues sections of the chapter 12. Do you agree with the 3 reasons put forth in the 1986 Velvet Ghetto report that explained the lack of promotion opportunities for women working in PR? Do you think that these 3 reasons still exist within work for women? And if what can be done to remedy the problems of job discrimination and salary inequities? You see that chapter 12 deals a lot with gender and deals a lot with minorities and how that relates to work and public relations. And so this fits perfectly with what we're doing this week in the course reading. Remember, that is due on Thursday with reply posts due on Friday. When we look at branding and PR, I want to spend some time looking at things that we have learned and things we can learn from in terms of understanding the value of branding within public relations. Sometimes branding fits nicely into business, sometimes it fits nicely into marketing, and sometimes it fits nicely into public relations, depending on who it is you are looking at. For example, when we look at PR from a branding perspective, PR becomes related to image management from that particular perspective. It's about communicating the right messages to the right publics and doing that effectively. And in a nutshell, we're managing any potential issues that could affect your business's reputation and related to your business's brand. Branding and public relations deals with specifically how your company, topic, your nonprofit, or whatever it may be, your product, is viewed by the public. What do they think of you? So when we think about that, there's 4 major points to branding within public relations. Their image, succinct communication, trust, and reputation. Image deals with the importance of your brand's image and the fact that it cannot be overstated. How people perceive your company is perhaps the most significant factor in whether they decide to do business with you. Your branding should communicate your values 100% of the time. In fact, many people start a relationship with a business that they feel they have shared values with. A prime example of this is how brand impression is tied to the customer experience and how it can be found in the way of luxury brands focusing on creating perfectly refined brand images that resonate with their audience. For example, you'll see today a lot of companies will utilize social media influencers. They'll rely on the fact that these social media accounts or people, these bloggers, have a huge following on social media and people have a personal connection to them. And so with that, they will have these social media influencers become brand ambassadors to help embody and become the image of that company. So 64% of people say that they start a relationship with a business based on if they share similar values with that business. If we're utilizing social media influencers in our tactics and within our PR campaigns to help communicate the brand of the business to consumers, the best way you can do that is through these followers that feel they have shared values with these social media influencers, then in turn have a shared value with the business, and they'll be more likely to start a relationship with that business. You'll see that in many different ways. You'll also see this within luxury brands. For example, Hermes is a luxury brand that has made a point to shun mass production and outsourcing in order to maintain control over their brand and image of process of their products. And this has to do with the identity of the brand, and they've been very successful in doing that and building a following around that. You'll see that our video that deals with cult branding is very similar into the idea of utilizing influencers on social media to become ambassadors, to market the brand and communicate the brand to its following. To do that, we also need to utilize succinct communication, which is the second point. Succinct communication provides us with opportunities from a public relations perspective when people can immediately understand your business. We are speaking not just simply, but we're speaking in a concise manner that allows consumers to clearly and immediately understand what we're about, what it does, and what its values are within a business. So in a valid and strong PR opportunity, succinct communication should have people immediately understand your business, understand what your business does, and what the values of your business is within 2 minutes or so. With the right branding, your PR team will be able to communicate the brand more easily to reporters, which will generate more positive press, more media coverage, and then in turn get you more communication out there about your company. The next thing we need to consider is trust or trustworthiness. It's really tough to get good publicity if your business doesn't seem trustworthy, but the inverse is also true. A trustworthy business will have an easier time getting good publicity. That's certainly not the only benefit into building trust. A recent study presented by Forbes found that 94% of consumers claim that they're likely to show loyalty to brands who offer total transparency. Likewise, 73% of them are willing to pay a premium for a product that has total transparency over one that doesn't. Consumers nowadays want to trust you and trust what you're all about. They want to feel as if they've built a relationship with you, which is one of the core functions of public relations. Building strategic relationships, valued relationships between publics and the organization. The practitioner acts as the mediator between those two things. So with social media and things like that, they want to feel as if they actually have a voice with you and they can communicate with you and have complete trust in you. Not that you're getting these canned responses. They want to feel valued. With that, it comes with reputation management. One thing branding and PR have in common is that they both focus on controlling messaging around a business. If you don't do that, your door is left wide open for other people to make assumptions about your business. This all starts within the branding plan and the public relations efforts related to managing your reputation. Your public relations efforts will not be successful if your brand's perspective is unclear. Branding allows you to take control of your narrative. It's really the first step in building a positive reputation for your business. Branding and PR may require separate teams and strategies, but to get the most out of them, we really should work together to build a solid image for the organization. And when they're in sync, they're very effective in terms of building that communication strategy that you need to be effective within your organization and with the media. As we move forward, keep in mind that we are reading Chapter 12. We're looking at a video on cult branding. We're completing journal entry number 3, which is due on Friday, as well as discussion board number 8, which is due on Thursday, with reply posts due on Friday. If you have any questions or anything, please reach out. I look forward to interacting with you this week, and pray you all have a blessed week.